bring YouTube right into this. And I'm also going to pull up a YouTube video. So let's make sure we've got all our visuals ready to go. It's looking really good. And let's see. Okay, so this, perfect. Okay, so in case any of you guys want to watch the video, you'll see it in just a second. You can pull that up right now. It's already live and online. I'm going to be answering your questions. That is right. I'm going to be answering your questions on Whatnot. I'm going to answer all of the YouTube questions that have been posted. So if you have questions, post them on YouTube. But really, Whatnot's the place to be. And I'll tell you how to get in here in just a second. So if you haven't signed up for Whatnot already, there is a link in many of the show description boxes, including the one I'm just about to bring up. And let's see how we look. How do we look? Okay, so let's flip it around and let's see what do we look like. I think I'm going to have to yeah, you can't see the TV. Hello. So give me 1 second. Sorry it's taken me a minute to get this all set up, but anywho, so I guess you're just going to have to do the partial view. But if you want to see the YouTube comments, I'm going to be answering those. Hi, Kat. I'm going to be answering all of your YouTube comments. I've already posted a lot of those, but I want to make sure that you guys saw those questions. Hi, Keely. And I'm behind on shipping, so I'm glad you popped in. Buy some more. Let me go ahead and turn around the camera on the live, and that way, hold on. Okay, perfect. Yeah, so there is also a live. So I recommend getting both. If you can do YouTube live, you'll get a full screen view on Whatnot because we're vertical. And this didn't get taller, and I didn't get shorter. I just need to adjust the height. I'm not ever bothered if you guys point this stuff out to me. It's like I just shrunk. Oh my gosh. And you're going to be a little bouncy because I've got you mounted on a tripod I don't often use for this camera, but I want to make sure that we had multiple ways you could watch. You know, the internet is the internet, and we never know when it's going to cooperate, when it's going to give us a hard time. But so far, so good with Whatnot and YouTube, as long as they each get their own device. I found that's the way that they can play well together. But let's do that. And so then as far as stuff that I'll be selling during the Whatnot live stream, I'll just have some fun stuff. And if you have special requests, go right ahead. I'm going to show you things I've never shown before. So that's a special treat. If you go to the YouTube video and pull up the description box, there is a coupon code. Please don't post it in this chat, but please use it because it's a good one. It's 25% off. So if you're able to get all streams running, go right ahead. Okay, so first thing, let's start a giveaway. How about that? That's always a good thing to do. All right, good to go. So make sure you pop in the giveaway. Sometimes that does bring your shipping costs down a little bit, so make sure you guys are in the giveaway. As I said before, I'm going to be doing a Whatnot response video on YouTube, and I'm going to make sure that I answered everybody's comments, because you guys, there's more than 5,000 people who've seen this shipping video that I did, and I don't know where everybody found it, but I'm glad that they did. Okay, so we're just going to play this. I also played with some of the effects, so if you see anything that you like, let me know what that is. But we're just going to start right here. So there is a comment. I noticed a lot of people are offering free shipping. How can you offer free shipping when the item? Actually, this is a little dark for me. Sorry. Okay, let's try that one more time. No. Oh no, I gotta go back to my YouTube. Okay, good. Okay. How can you offer free shipping when the item costs more to ship than what is paid? And we're going back to that first question. And how do you profit from it? Okay, so thank you very much. That was from, I think it's Xphobia. Fantastic. So you notice that some sellers do free shipping. And I did post a response, but basically it depends on what the item is. It depends on whether they are doing it for high volume reasons or whether they're trying to hit a certain goal. Every seller on Whatnot sort of earns their wings at 1,000 items sold, and sometimes that'll inspire people to do some free shipping deals. And you can't obviously keep doing that forever because eventually it will come up to haunt you. So you need to make sure you're mixing in other items that you are profiting from. And that's a really good observation, though. So yes, Whatnot does have a low price shipping option on the platform for all shows in all categories. So free shipping basically means I'm going to adjust the price of the item so that I know that I'll have enough money to pay the shipping. So usually those items wouldn't start as low as $2, but they did notice that. So interesting. Sometimes you'll snag a deal that way. Uh, and let's keep moving because I'm going to go through the next question, but I played with all the transitions and I had a lot of fun. Okay, so um, I did not pay this person, and this is from Diction. Think this is hands down the best video out there. I've seen almost 100 videos, and you are a lifesaver. Okay, thank you, Diction. I'm going to tell you why I think that that you have that distinction. I'll tell you what's different about this video, the shipping video I did versus the videos that I've seen as well. I have not watched 100 of them. But if you watch the first part of the shipping video, I just basically make it very simple. Whatnot has 3 different shipping categories, which are lightweight, best rate, and heavyweight. Lightweight will ship ground advantage, and that's for items weighing less than 1 pound. Between 1 and 5 pounds, you get the best rate for priority mail of $9.21 at the time that I'm saying this. That price might adjust, but it's about a third of what you would pay if you ship the same items in a large priority box. So fantastic. And then with heavyweight, those could ship either with ground advantage, which is the lowest price rates that the post office has, or they could ship priority mail. And that's just something that each seller has to decide before their shows. So lightweight, best rate, and heavyweight, Whatnot has you covered. Heavyweight covers between 6 and 70 pounds. That's 70 pounds. Okay. We need to get some more entries in the giveaway, folks. You've got a really good chance of winning. And I saw Sunday Paint come in. So I'm answering all of the questions that came in about the shipping video. I'm going to run some items, and we're doing a giveaway. And I'm also talking to YouTube right now, so we get the word out all over the internet. Fantastic. Talk about multitasking, right? Okay, so what are we going to do first? Let me pull up a listing here, and then we'll do some more questions. I do have samples of these dinner plates that are in the auction tab. I can show you what those look like, but those make really good, if you're not going to use it to eat off of, they make really good art project plates. And sorry if it seems like you're moving, because I'm trying to gently touch the screen here. Why don't we do this book? How about that? I'll just pin that. There, we'll just put that up. And I do have the book. It's like right within arm's reach. So let's see. Yeah, let's leave the book there for a second. So you've got something you can purchase, and that is the Southern Lady Guide. Let me grab that. So this is what I'm showing you right now. Let's go back to YouTube because I want to make sure we get everybody else's comments. There were a lot on this video, which is fantastic. It is fantastic that there were a lot of good comments on this video. Okay, oops. We need to go back just a tad. Okay, so now I got to pause. Who says this? Nomia, fantastic. I've watched a lot of videos. Yours is the best and easiest to understand. Now here's what I don't understand. I see a lot of sellers, even the ones just starting out, offering free shipping with a $2 purchase. We talked about that one already. So let's move on to the Caribbean Reporter. Say a buyer buys 3 items, would they be charged separately for each one for the shipping cost, or will they be bundled together? Need to go back. This is under one shipping cost. Would they be bundled together under one shipping cost? Yes, by default, Whatnot will bundle the items for one package, and that's the way that the customer saves money on their shipping, is by automatically bundling orders. I understand that as I'm explaining some of this, you may need to rewatch my videos a few times because it's going to sound opposite or backwards from what you've experienced already on other websites. Whatnot is very unique, and they have come up with some amazing tools that allow us to sell and ship items at the lowest possible cost. One of those is called smart bundling. So whereas on other platforms, if you were to bundle something, it's usually an extra step that the seller has to go through. With Whatnot, they're doing it automatically. And so that saves everybody time and money. And how fantastic is that? Okay, so we still got the Southern Lady Guide. I could actually change the price or something. Let's see. Yeah, most people like auctions. Okay, cool. Well, let's do some auctions then. We'll just do those. We'll just do some dinner plates because I have them. So I can show you whichever pattern you would like, and let's run the auction. Pen, and I might have to go back. Okay, so if I come back here, start the auction there. And which pattern is this? Yeah, definitely get in on the YouTube live because if you go to this video, there is a coupon code you can use. But the live is just streaming right now, but you'll get the full view. So right now we've got a pair of 2 antique dinner plates running. I'm going to show you the pattern. It's a really nice one, but probably more for crafting and decoration because this particular manufacturer always has crazing. And so for food safe purposes, you may want to use this more as a craft piece. But it's Johnson Brothers Old English. I actually put that in the description. Wow. Could have just read the screen. Okay, so that's this pattern. Let's go back to our YouTube comments so that I make sure we got everybody's questions answered. And this has been so much fun. Okay, hold on one second. A lot has happened while I've been holding this plate. You go back. Oh my gosh. This is how many comments came in. I mean, I've been trying to keep up with them. Let's see. Okay, let's do this one. So this one is from Hypocentric. What if I'm not sure a buyer will buy multiple items during the live show? What if I choose priority mail? Yeah, okay. What if I choose priority mail or flat rate and the items won't fit into the largest flat rate box? You plan on selling electronics, and should you choose ground advantage? Okay, so here is where there are some different back and forth comments because the seller has to decide what they're going to sell. I can't tell anybody how to run their business. I don't try to tell anybody how to run their business. You're going to see that comment repeatedly in my replies. And you're right that either or you'll probably find a solution, whether it is priority mail or whether it is ground advantage. Because electronics could be something like this, or it could be a huge stereo system. So it just depends on what the items are, if it's going to make sense to use priority mail or if it's going to be better to do it ground advantage. In any situation, unless you're selling like really tiny things like earbuds, you're probably looking at having heavyweight packages go out. So that's maybe where the flat rate box might make sense. And I can show you the size of one, but basically it's half a cubic foot. So it's 12 by 12 by 6 inches high. And you just have to, you kind of have to like play around with that. But if you really, really want to keep your options open, maybe ground advantage to start, and then you might be able to work your way into priority. And I always suggest to every seller, I get asked this question, so many different ways. I always suggest to other sellers, keep your shows separate. Like, go in and try to separate out your lightweight versus your best rate items that would ship priority mail between 1 and 5 pounds for 921, and your heavyweight items. Like, you don't have to like keep mixing and matching. You can do your lights first, and then you can transition over to your heavier pieces, or do it the opposite way. So whatever works for the seller, whatever's good for the customer, Whatnot has the solution. And I may have skipped some, but I think if I've skipped it, I've replied to it. So let's keep it going. We're gonna wait for the next one, but the transitions are kind of fun. Woo! Okay. First show, what would you recommend for shipping? And you sell a variety of items. Thanks. Well, that's cool. Who asked that question? Okay, first show, I would definitely suggest keep the default shipping settings. Those are the ones that I use for most of my shows. It's going to work about 80% of the time. And I hope you had a really good first show, because by the time I'm saying this, you've probably already had your first show. You might be on show number 2, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Feel free to report back to us how that went. And let's run something else. Or we could actually just start this auction again. Let's take it down $1. That seems to always help. Sorry if it seems like you're getting seasick. Okay, so this is for 2 of these. Okay, moving on. And you guys can hear me, correct? You can just say YN or whatever. I'll take any response as you can hear me. Okay, how about jewelry? You're new and you're going to have your first jewelry show. What can you pitch so that you don't get overcharged, so that the customers don't get overcharged? And this is from Daily Hustle. Fantastic. So that is where lightweight comes in. Lightweight, less than a pound, will start adding up the weights. And those are shipping ground advantage, which is the lowest rate class. I understand that on different platforms, sellers have more choices that might lead to higher shipping totals or lower shipping totals. However, on Whatnot, they've kind of made it really basic and easy for everybody, because we're always using the post office. And on the lightweights, less than a pound, they've chosen the lowest price option, which is ground advantage. On the best rate of 921 for priority mail, 1 to 5 pounds, nobody else has that deal. So that's kind of amazing there too. Now, if somebody's buying more than 5 pounds of jewelry, you can definitely afford to pay a little something to cover that added cost of shipping if you wanted to. So the sellers have a little bit of discretion here, but and thank you. Submit folks, you were in a fun chat the other night. I forget which one it was though. I sample so many different shows. And so many people all over the internet have found this video. And so we are, okay, so here we have warning, be very wary, blah, 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 blah. This is one of those examples of when I tell everybody, just go to my YouTube. Go to my YouTube. Haters love to hate, go to my YouTube. This is obviously nothing I had anything to do with, and I can't solve, but people just love to put little nasty notes out there, and frankly, that's what the internet's for. So sometimes I'll just leave them there. If they're really nasty, I won't. But this was a fun one. Because if you really, really read it, and I'm not trying to give this person too much attention, it starts to become more and more absurd. But let's run a different item since you guys are all here. And I know you love shopping on Whatnot. I'm not trying to slow anybody down. I'm actually trying to multitask. That way you get the best of everything, right? Okay. Oh, wait. I want to do the 90s dinner plates, because this MTV should definitely remind you of the 90s, the MTV logo. I know, right? Here, hold on 1 second. Bonus points if anybody knows what MTV is supposed to stand for, or what it's in reference to. What it refers to. Okay, so I'm going to pull this guy here. Okay. I really like this transition effect, so we're gonna work with that one. And this is the plate pattern that I'm holding up. This is very popular in the 90s, and it's probably still popular today. It's timeless and classic. So we're gonna start our auction here, Naked Maple, it's good to see you. I'm not conspiring with you. I can't conceal your whereabouts. I have no idea where you're at, though. Uh, but I'm telling you the real deal. All of the stock footage that I found was actually put out by the post office. So none of it was anything that I did any kind of like artificial alteration to. I hope that you're ready for your next video. So I messaged you, let me know what you want to do. And I'm also going to mention, I saw on your products that you have aromatherapy pendants. I didn't understand or know that when we first talked, and you might have pointed that out, but it wasn't clear to me. So that was a new discovery. So I think those are perfect for product demonstrations. And I think that that would be really fun to play around with. Yes, I want my MTV. And you may have been abducted or disappeared or arrested. Okay, moving on. Okay, you know, because the postal investigators, they handle wire fraud also. They can track anything on the internet. Okay, we're coming right back here. Uh, okay, these are the compliments again. We're getting caught up. It's gonna. Does everybody love that transition effect? I mean, how could you not? Okay. What would I select for shipping? What would I select for shipping fishing rods, 96 inches long, 3 inches diameter, tube weighing hold on 1 second, 6 pounds. And that's done by TBS. Okay, or TBs. TBs, you are really skating around the maximum size, but I think you're within it. And I played around with that, and I just picked random zip codes, and it was about $20 shipping cost because it is going to be considered an oversized piece. But when you go into Whatnot's shipping screen, once you're in the shipping menu, you can create a custom profile that basically has all of those measurements as well as the weight, and that will price it accurately. So that was really nice. They have that capability. So, but it was about $20, and every seller has access to the same tools that I do. So, yeah, you could see. Excuse me. I think, yeah, 6 pounds is heavyweight. So there you would get the choice if you wanted to price it with priority mail or you wanted to do Grad Advantage. So 6 pounds would be heavyweight. Okay, moving on. I know, 6 pounds. How heavy could you be? Is this still running? Okay, well we're gonna keep moving. I mean, we're not slowing down on these auction items. We definitely want the auction to continue. I know you guys are people love shopping on Whatnot. They love buying things, and I encourage that. Okay, so I think people have realized they can just see this on YouTube. They don't need to actually be in the show. Okay, so we answered this question. We answered the next one. So we did miss one, but we got caught up. And what are we doing? We're moving along. Okay. Okay, Stephanie. Hello. When you have a shipping profile created for, let's say, a lightweight item, we can put 6 ounces for like one shirt and put the max item as 5 pieces. Would Whatnot automatically calculate and charge buyers separate shipping costs for each item bought, and each item bought will have have a reduced shipping price? My reply, thanks for your question, yes. And this is actually the perfect example of somebody who understands Whatnot's discounted shipping because it's getting bundled. So this seller or potential seller is asking, if they set a weight of 6 ounces, would it start stacking up until they get up to 1 pound or over 1 pound? Yes. And hold on, I think we have a winner here. Yes, it says, for your example, the package weight will be 30 ounces and qualifies for Whatnot's best rate of $9.21. Yes. And that's for priority mail, and I hope that does help people sell more on Whatnot. So yeah, that was a fun one. Perfect example. So I'm so glad that so many people have watched the original video. People have commented. The first comments came from Maine. So hello, Maine. Are you in Maine? Who's here with me? Because any Maine? And let's keep going. So I'm answering all the questions. We're getting through these pretty quick. Okay, we talked about the jewelry question, and it's so we're going to move on to liquidate for cash. Could you clarify for me how shipping profiles work? For example, if I'm selling shoes and I have the shipping set at, oops, that one went too fast. We got to go back. Set at $9.21 reduced shipping. The customer only pays one shipping price. Now the customer buys 20 pairs of shoes, and we're going to keep going back till we get this question answered. So you got a customer who's going to buy 20 pairs of shoes. Okay, I'm going to have to pause it and just leave it like that. Now the customer buys 20 pairs of shoes, and you can fit them in a large flat rate box, and you can't fit them in a large flat rate box, but you have a larger box that fits. Oh my gosh. What do? Does the shipping profile apply? And I said, thanks for watching. Please go to the video part at the end. When you set up your show, you can choose ground advantage, priority mail, or flat rate for heavyweights. And 20 pairs of shoes will not fit in a flat rate box. So we agree there. And if you did have it set up that way, you'd have to unbundle it after the show. So just different things. The good news about a lot of adjustments that have to be made to shipments is that it can be handled within Whatnot's platform. We don't have to go looking for a different carrier. We're always looking at the post office. The only question is, what rate class are we talking about? Are we talking about ground advantage, which is the lowest price, or are we talking about priority mail? If we're in the best rate range, priority mail is the obvious answer, and it's the one that Whatnot chose. But you know, if you're in the heavyweight range, it might be better or worse to do one versus the other. You just have to look at the prices and see how far it's going too. Okay, we're going to keep moving because I love this dinner pattern. I'm going to find a good home for it. And it's probably the next person who comes in here. Wouldn't that be fun? Okay, we're going to start just like this. And we're going to let that run for a minute. Okay, let's keep it moving. We're going to answer all of your questions. I'm not paying attention to the YouTube chat. I'm very sorry. Come over to Whatnot if you want to get in on this. I'm seeing the chat fly by. Everybody's having so much fun. Oh my gosh. Okay. So here we have the nasty note. Okay. Will Whatnot penalize you for unbundling and making new boxes? That is my fear, to lose money on shipping. You have not done your show yet, and you're currently making a list of your stock weighing items with packing materials. And I'm currently going to read the rest of that. When you list the items, you have to weigh them all and consider, and you don't know the box because the customer may buy more than one item. I'm not sure where the, oh my gosh. Okay. Yeah, there were two things I want to bring up here. You mentioned 3 adjustments. Okay. And you want to know if you're going to be penalized, and it seems so confusing. Okay, well, Whatnot shouldn't be that confusing. I wouldn't call any of it a penalty. It's just the cost difference. And out in the real world, away from Whatnot Wonderland, the sellers are constantly having to pay for any, excess postage that needs, we have to make up the difference, basically. And a lot of other platforms don't give you any free adjustments. So Whatnot gives you 5. So I'm not sure where you got 3 from, but you don't have to use them all. So if you don't use them all, that's a good thing. So yeah, anything 5 or less per week should be okay. Now, what did I say though? I said I hope that they sell a lot. Yes. Does Whatnot automatically do combined shipping? We talked about the answer being yes. Oh, this is a good one. This is a really good one. 33. Okay. So, what if you're selling football cards in a 4x8 bubble mailer? How do you make sure your buyers are paying the right price for shipping? That is such a good question. I'm gonna pause this for a second because you can see I did some replies. Um, yes, that is a really really good question. It shows, so it kind of gave some clues to me. I got some information by reading that. Obviously, you are a very meticulous seller. You've determined that a bubble mailer is the right package to choose. That is a good thing. It's not the only way that you could ship them, but it probably is the best way based on what you're selling. So the answer was pretty basic though, because we both kind of had a meeting of the minds at the bottom of the comments. Uh, okay, so here it is. Your focus is lightweight packages for lightweight shipments. All packages between 1 and 15 ounces will ship Ground Advantage. There's nothing to change after you turn off first class mail. That was the one thing that might be an issue, is if these were going to ship in a first class mail envelope, which is not a padded mailer. A first class envelope is not a padded mailer. So turn that one off. It's the only thing that could go wrong. And it realistically it probably wouldn't, but let's do a double check here. And there's nothing to change after you turn off first class mail. Each of your card listing shipments, since it was 1 to 3 ounces, it's going to total up and print out a 6-ounce label. It's going to print a 6-ounce label, and that'll be fine. And you can also make an adjustment there, anything in the lightweight, without using up one of your free adjustments or creating a new cost for you or the customer. This one's good. You're not sure how to set up your shipping. Oh, this is really good. So you're not sure how to set up your shipping, and you are going to be selling clothes, shoes, purses, all at random pulls and all different weights. How would I set that up? This is where you definitely want to try to organize your shows. There's a reason I've been holding dinner plates, because these are some of the items that would require more than 1 pound to ship, and so it's putting everything in best rate right away. Now that's a good thing for the customers based on the types of items that I sell. And what you're suggesting is that it's just going to be like random stuff, and that's perfectly fine. You might be getting salvage pallets. You might be getting end of season pallets. It doesn't make any difference as long as it's something you can sell on Whatnot. I would just mention, as you're pulling, you might want to pull the clothes first, then leave the shoes for later, or do it the opposite way. I'm not telling anybody how to run their business, but you've got to have some system so that you don't get tied up into this jumbled mess, because a pair of shoes is much different than the weight of a sweater or a shirt. So just, try to keep yourself focused there. And there's nothing wrong with sorting as you go. So you can have an empty box that you toss all the shoes into as you're pulling out other things. And you could do it with clothes instead. So whatever is going to keep you organized and on track so that you can keep selling on Whatnot. Okay, and I did invite them to the ship show. So what is the ship show? Well, the ship show is one of Whatnot's most popular seller support shows. Yes. And I've hosted it. This is the second year that I've hosted it. Every other Thursday, 1 p.m. Eastern time. It's always been the same day. It's always been the same time. So we get a group of sellers together from different categories, and everybody gets a chance to ask shipping questions. Sometimes we'll have an expert pop in, and it definitely helps a lot of folks, because the goal is, if you come in with a question, we want to get you the answer before the end of the show so you can get back to doing what you do best, and that's selling on Whatnot. So yeah, we definitely love the ship show for that reason. Okay, let's keep it going. And I know you guys love these dinner plates, so let me do some more. we're just gonna keep moving through the available selection. How about that? Okay, we're gonna do that, and we're gonna start this. Dinner plates, fantastic. It looks like the one is oval, but it's really not. It's just two of the same plate here. Okay, so we're gonna pin this. Sorry if it's making you motion sick. Trying not to. And we'll start our auction. And yeah, we'll let it go for a few minutes. Okay, fantastic. Okay, so it's going to go to the next question. And that is coming from Octavio. Jorge asked the question about doing the mixed pulls. So, Octavio, I have a question. You just started selling and you sell Funkos, and you put the weight of 4 pounds, 7 ounces when people buy multiple items and the package together, and then you send them out, and you've been getting packages returned. Saying postage needed, what should I do to fix this? Okay, actually, excuse me, I misread that. It's 4 to 7 ounces is what you've been putting the weight on, and then the packages have come back. So a couple different things, and I asked if Octavio could give me an example. I didn't get one of a package that was returned, and I recommended look at the top of the label to see if it says Ground Advantage or Priority Mail, and then what packaging was used. Because if it's a mismatched label package combination, that's the only thing I'm thinking about when it goes back to the seller. I know it could go back for any reason, but that's the easy, obvious one. So if you put a Ground Advantage label on a Priority Mail package, it might come right back to you. That is one of the more common mistakes, especially when you're dealing with lightweight, because there is another platform that includes less than 1 pound with their Priority Mail shipping. Whatnot does not. So sellers, sometimes we just get into our own habits and patterns and ways of thinking about things. We don't even think, oh, wait a minute, they've got a different way of doing it. So if you're putting a Ground Advantage label on a priority package, it might boomerang back to you. And then otherwise, please let me know. You can also message me through Whatnot if you're on the app. So make sure that you actually you are on the app. So Octavio, let me know. Give me an example. I'd love to solve this mystery. I don't know why you're getting your packages returned. Okay. Okay, Mickey. I used a flat rate box, and when you went to ship it, the price for shipping said $0.00. So does it charge the customer after you create the shipping label because you're confused? Well, congratulations on your first sale. Congratulations on your first sale. And the customer pays the shipping charge when the auction ends. So the customer has already paid the $9.21 best rate. Yes, $9.21 best rate. And because you used a flat rate box, there's no additional postage required. So perfect shipment, you're on the road to success, and I hope this helps you sell more on Whatnot. So yeah, that was a good question. Why is it showing me a $0 price? Because there's nothing to pay. On the shipping screen in the back of the seller hub, so this is not something that customers or buyers would look at, but this is something that sellers can access. When you're in the menu, the price of one priority flat rate mailer, no matter what the package is, whether it's a large box, a small box, a bubble mailer, whatever's listed in that menu, those are all going to be $9.21 each. So using a single large flat rate box would be $9.21. So if the customer had purchased, let's say, 4 pounds, and that's why they were charged the amount, it's okay if you need to switch to the flat rate. And you need to switch to the flat rate if you didn't have your show set up that way. But there's no cost of doing that. And I think that's probably what you were trying to explain. But yeah, very, very good. Awesome. So I know you guys are learning a lot. Thank you. And I love the hearts. Yeah, tap, 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 tap. I love it. Okay, so the closest thing you can do on YouTube is push the little like button. You push the little thumbs up button, but on Whatnot, you can tap the screen and it just like explodes in hearts. And I've been seeing that all throughout. I can see it out of the corner of my eye when I'm reading these questions. So I appreciate you too. You are fantastic. Okay, hold on. Let's keep it moving because I want to answer the rest of these questions. These are some good questions. Oh, this is a fun one. What happens if an item is valued greater than the USPS provides for insurance? What if an item is valued more than $100, basically? And that one went away too fast. Okay, so can you add additional insurance? Can you add the additional insurance cost onto the buyer before shipping? And the item costing $400, they guesstimated would cost approximately $25 for a medium priority mailing. If the proper amount, let's go back. I'm sorry, guys. If the proper amount of insurance is added on to the shipping cost, I questioned how they were getting that information, where they were getting the numbers. It didn't quite make sense to me because we said flat rate, so that would be $9.21. That's not near $25. Got a reply that it should have been 20. It was a typo. Even that I couldn't quite understand because I've seen information on Whatnot. I've seen information on Whatnot's help page that says the cost of additional insurance is 1% of the sale amount. So that would be less. I'm not offering to provide this coverage to anyone, period. I'm just explaining what I've read. Because when you get into matters about insurance, you have to follow all the rules, and I'm not even offering it. So I'm just telling you what I've read. Another thing about, generally speaking, if we talk about loss reimbursement, why don't we use that word? Let's not use the I word. Okay, so if we're talking about loss reimbursement, if a customer is paying for the loss reimbursement, who's going to get the money? So that's really the question. Like, who is going to get the money here if the item is lost or completely destroyed? So I think the idea that you would somehow have the customer be the person who has a policy, so to speak, or has coverage, so to speak, I'm not really sure that this is I'm not really sure that this is pointing in the right direction. Any type of optional protection is a seller protection, and Whatnot provides buyer protection as well as seller protection. I'm glad you recognize that $100 is the maximum for the USPS insurance. However, Whatnot uses its own separate carrier when it comes to that. And it's all built into the platform, and it does seem to be about 1%. I played around with it on a package, and I couldn't get anywhere close to these numbers. So, yeah, I would just say, if you think that that's something you want, then obviously it's there for a reason. But I'm not offering it. I'm offering 0 people in the world any type of loss reimbursement or insurance protection. Okay, I'm 0. Do not include me in that discussion because it gets messy. It really does get messy. Right here, I'm wondering if a person is paying for the coverage, wouldn't they be getting the claim if the claim were to come? But I'm gonna think that you might expect to get reimbursed because you were the one who sold the item. This is where you need to really take a look at that. So yeah, good question though. And actually a couple more of these questions are gonna have price quotes that I don't understand. I don't know where they're getting them. All of the pricing is on the Seller Hub under the shipping tab. So we don't use any third-party sites to quote shipping or any type of optional service. We're using the U.S. Postal Service. We're using Whatnot's interface. So I cannot understand where some of these numbers are coming from, but I'm also asking where they're getting the number. So it's not completely a rhetorical question. So we're going to start our auction here on these. Yeah, we still got a couple more. Okay, let's keep it moving. And this, let's see, we just got one about flat rate envelopes. Oh, and then at the bottom, okay, so KJ, I realize you think that I got the, it says, hold on, the last comment. Um, okay, so you said that I was starting to mistake ground advantage rates for what you're explaining, which are priority mail rates. And frankly, I've done a video that I think you're really going to love. I know you're going to want to watch it. And at the end, I'm going to show you which video that is. So I included that extra one just so you know that I've definitely got a little bit more information that I could have inserted here, but we don't need to keep going over a question that I really can't answer any better. So let's keep it moving. Yeah, I love ground advantage. Okay. I would have used the USPS added flat rate envelopes. The rate is, hold on a second, this looks like the wrong number to me. The rate is, they think $10.85. Is there a way to send it cheaper? And I said, thanks for watching. And the best rate is $9.21. If I had to guess where people are getting these numbers, I'm going to think they're probably going to a site like eBay's shipping site because it will quote different carriers' commercial rates. And we only use the post office. And the best rate that Whatnot has is not going to show up on eBay's system. It's a Whatnot exclusive deal. But the other place I can think is Pirate Ship. And as far as pricing goes, the two are basically identical. So I think that you might be using other websites to try to guess these amounts, but really you need to go back to Whatnot system if you're trying to figure out the correct amounts. You need to actually be in the seller hub. But the best rate is $9.21. It's never been $10.85 as long as I've been selling on Whatnot. And I started a year ago in January. But this is what I just ran. And who have we got? Oh, Avid, welcome. So anyway, good to see you answering lots of questions. If you go to the YouTube page, you will be able to find a coupon code. But there's also a live stream running. I'm like juggling so many things. But why don't we give you guys a giveaway? How about that? That'll be fun. That's easy. I can do that one. Oh my gosh. Sorry to keep turning my back, but I'm trying to read these questions so I don't get them misworded. And let's do that. Start the giveaway. There you go. Oops. Sorry if it's making you seasick. Okay, now we're gonna switch this one here. Oh, dinner and I did dinner and salad plates. Okay, interesting. Well, I didn't pull a salad plate. This is a dinner plate. And you get two of them. Options. Let's see. We'll do a slight repricing that I'm not going to announce on the internet. Okay, there you go. Much better. Okay. Okay. We'll put this on for... sorry if it's moving. Okay, put it on for a minute. Okay, so I'm going to read the next question that came in. All these questions came in from the shipping video that I put up about Whatnot shipping, and that went up in October, but people really started finding it this year. And so there's like more than 5,000 people who've seen it. Many people have left comments and questions, so I like to make sure I'm not ignoring that. I don't work for Whatnot. This is not sponsored. I probably should have said that at the beginning. Okay, here we go. You want to use the flat rate envelope, so yeah, that would qualify for best rate pricing. What if the items from one buyer do not fit in one box? Do you start a new box with the buyer paying for another shipping label? Thank you. Okay, so here again, this is the best part. No, the buyer's not going to pay for an additional box. But yes, as an adjustment, you would unbundle it. And I think in my reply, I gave you the timestamp that you could go to in the video. I really tried to be very helpful and courteous, and just all they have to do is click. It's going to take them exactly to the correct place. So I can't really change this any less than what I did. But maybe somebody's going to get the coupon, and that's why. Uh, Hold on one second. Let's give it a minute. Okay. All right. So, oh, hello. We're at the end. Hello from Maine, and hello, Guar. Hello from Maine, and this is one of my favorite comments of all time, or questions. So I can't use any poly bag and shipping and whatnot. Poly bag for 20 pounds. Okay, from Zachy. Zachy, you are a very entrepreneurial 8-year-old. Yes! And I think I mentioned in another one of your comments that it's okay if you don't know the exact answer now. You'll ask your parents once you turn 18, and I'm sure you'll get the right answer then. So you are allowed to use poly bags, but for a 20-pound item, that's probably not the best way to ship something. And beyond that, I mean, oh my gosh, kids are getting so smart. Don't you think? Kids are asking shipping questions. Hi, Zachy. Are you looking at me now? Are you looking at me now? Hi, Zachy. Okay. So yeah, that was all the questions. Oh, I did make a promise, and I'm gonna keep it at the end. Okay, so if you want to see more about the videos about shipping, there's one that's Get Labels. This is free shipping, and this is all about Ground Advantage, USPS Ground Advantage. I made a video when they first launched that category, and so I do have a lot of familiarity with it, and I wasn't mistaking the rates. But you can watch any or all of the videos, totally your call. Oh, this is a fun one. I forget what I was selling. What was I selling? Oh, What Not Rewards revealed. Okay, I guess I should tell you guys about What Not Rewards. It is the most exciting way to enjoy your shopping experience. If you look up underneath the crown above my head, that is where you can get rewarded just for shopping. In fact, if you watch 10 consecutive minutes, that'll start accruing credits toward view time, which would be the first level of bronze. Now, you want to get it gold or above, because at gold and above, you can do, you'll be able to see private exclusive shows. And that is a membership benefit that's reserved for those 3 tiers. So there's bronze, silver, gold, platinum, and diamond, 5 different levels. If you hit diamond this season, each season lasts about 3 months. If you hit diamond this season, then you'll restart at gold for next season. And so that way you don't ever lose access to the exclusive shows. This is running right now on the last few seconds for quite an extraordinary price. That's a name I haven't seen before. Congratulations. I'm so glad you're going to get a giveaway item. This is what's auctioned, but it'll probably come in a small flat envelope. So just keep your eyes out for that in the mail. But congratulations. That is so fantastic. Thank you. Yeah, so anyway, I think I explained rewards. If there's anything else Whatnot related that you want me to talk about, I can pull up the video. But you guys love the Whatnot videos. I have been like floored by how many views they've been getting. I've made other videos on different shopping topics. Hi, LV. I've never gotten as many views as on the Whatnot videos, especially the shipping questions. So I really appreciate that. And I do try to make good use of all of our time. So I multitask these days, and I do my Whatnot lives while I do my my Whatnot lives with my YouTube lives. And then I also try to get some sales in at the same time. You're probably wondering, who is crazy enough to do that? Well, I'm not calling her out, but Julie Becker is one of the most phenomenal sellers on the platform. If you are ever in the market for women's clothing, I would tell you, check out her shows. She is amazing, and she was doing a show tonight where she was doing an auction and she was doing a seller support, which is juggling like 5 different balls. We're gonna go back to the 90s. Yes, remember the 90s? So this pattern reminds me of like Saved by the Bell. If you've ever been to Walt Disney World and you've seen the Grand Floridian, this is that style. It's kind of that luxurious, opulent style, but not overdone. One of the most popular patterns that was selling mid 90s, and I think it's a trip that they haven't actually changed the decor. I don't think at the Grand Floridian. In all the videos I've seen, I myself have not gone there. I think it's just as much fun to watch other people pay the price and go there. That's what I use YouTube for. Cheap entertainment, cheap travel. So this is for 2 plates. But doesn't this pattern look like that? I'll flip it over. I'll show you. This is actually Wellesley by Faberware, and it's by Catherine Bovansky, I think. I always mispronounce that, but definitely one of the best-selling patterns in the 1990s. So you get 2 of these. Now, if you want to craft with these, go ahead. Because I will tell you, I saw last night Tristina, Tristina. She is kind of the resident artist at Whatnot. She has done amazing expanding the art category. She did a workshop. She does a lesson every Sunday, and she did a workshop on how to paint ceramics. And I asked her, see, this is me embarrassing myself. I asked her, can you do that on like crazing patterns where the glaze has started to go, you'll see lines in the glaze. She said, yeah, actually, that was one of the first examples I held up. I thought that was absolutely hilarious. I'm going to give myself a couple taps for that. But it turned out really good. So, I mean, people do all sorts of things. And she did a fully painted plate. I think this is so pretty on its own. You could use it for dinnerware, but I know people like to be crafty and give their own touch to things. So you can definitely do that. And yeah, oh my gosh. I'm going to peek around the corner and see if there's a YouTube question that I can answer. No, I don't see one. I think we're good. Oh, I know why. Oh, yeah, actually I do know why. No, it's public. It's public. This is the funny thing. One live stream, I asked people, like, let me know if the picture is okay or whatever, if the sound's okay. Nobody told me they couldn't find the live stream. Because it was never put public. So this one, I just did it at the start as public, even though I was still kind of arranging things and saying hi to you guys and getting this up and running. I just put it as public from the get-go. But yeah, nobody said anything. Oh my gosh. Let me see if there's anything else wrong that nobody's mentioned. Well, the lighting is odd. I will tell you that. And yes, you have seen the April Fool's video where I was like, you haven't seen the one that came like incredibly dark and dimly lit. Oops. The one that you saw is actually the YouTube version, which was fine. But in the other one, it was like I was like in pitch black, and I don't blame people for not wanting to stay because you couldn't see anything. And that was this exact device. I don't know what caused that. Okay, so we're going to go and let's do another giveaway. We'll run that. So yeah, the reason I'm thinking about Julie is I was watching her show and I couldn't leave. I was learning so much before this, and it's just like one of those things where you make your own assumptions and you might get it right, but maybe not. I was learning a lot. Okay, so let's do, where are the buy it nows? What do we have? We do have some books. And, okay. So I'm going to actually add something here. There we go. Okay. And we will just do lightweight. Not sure why this didn't come in. I just checked everything, getting ready for this show. I just checked all the available listings. Have any of you guys been able to purchase from the marketplace, which is basically items that you're purchasing whether or not a show's running, but they're showing up outside the show. If so, I'd love to know your experience. Okay, so that's optional. Okay, that's fantastic. It seems like there's one more question every time I do this. Okay, one photo. Perfect. Here, we'll do that one. Okay, that's a good one. That's a winner. I'm just going to add a 1 pound listing. Okay. Three. And there you go. Okay, so let's go back to auction and see if we made it in there. Yeah, we did. Cool. Okay, so next we're going to do some lightweights. Lightweight is anything. And thank you, Myra. I appreciate that. I appreciate you sharing the live stream. Absolutely. But please get in the giveaway yourself if you can. If you're on a desktop, you wouldn't be able to enter the giveaway. Okay, so lightweight, best rate, heavyweight. Those are the different shipping categories Whatnot has. And we're going to start out light. So we're going to go with lightweight. And I have these really pretty Valentine's bags, but they're just any time of the year. I think only a couple say Valentine's. Most of them just have hearts. So there's, I think I counted out 7, 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12, 14. So there's 14 of these total, and these still would not be more than a pound altogether. So you get all these different patterns, and we can go ahead and start this at $2, and let's shorten this up now. You've got my attention. You've got my full attention. I love YouTube. YouTube has been getting a lot of my attention, but then again, the comments have just kept coming, the questions, and I love that. Because every time somebody watches that video, it tells me that they want to sell on Whatnot, and they want to be successful. And every time somebody leaves a comment, I think, well, you know, if they took the time to watch the video and ask, I need to get them the right information. So it's one of those things. Oh, the other thing that started off my Monday really well, and I hope everybody is having a really good Monday, is we can always restart the giveaway if there was a tech issue. So it looks like there's going to be 2 of these. And then it looks like there's going to be 1 of this, kind of retro, and then 1 of this. It's just cute. And then these, there's 3 of this pattern. So starting at $2 for 14 of these gift bags, you could really make these into something special. And you could save a couple for Valentine's, but I mean, you could use these any time of the year, birthdays especially. Yeah, definitely birthdays. Does anybody else use holiday wrap? Like out of season? I know I do. I'm just rerunning it. Take a look at the screen if you want to know the deal of the day price. But yeah, I had a really good morning. I was in Mojo's wife Joni's show. She is the person who interviewed the CEO of Whatnot. She interviewed me at the end of last year. I answered whatever shipping questions she and her audience had. And I was in her show. She was doing a seller support. I won a Whatnot sports pendant, one of those little triangle flags, and people have been wanting them. And I didn't get any because I'm not a sponsored or featured seller or whatever. But she did. And so I'm going to have one. I'm hoping I'll get it for like one of my upcoming shows and I can show it off. But yeah, I thought that was really cool. And she reminded me that I won a giveaway the other time I was in one of her shows. She's like, do you always win when you're here? And I'm like, I guess I'm just lucky. But it is funny. People have questioned, like, is it really, really random? I think it is. But, you know, when you're dealing with smaller numbers, less than 100, you won't exactly get even results. You won't get statistically even results. Okay, so there's 4 of these placemats that are 12 by 17, and these are a heavyweight vinyl. So if you want to use it for crafting or protecting your cutting board, go right ahead. You can flip them over. They're just going to be a solid white. I hit myself in the head with that. I'm glad you were probably looking away, I hope. So we're going to do these. Let's take this one down too. There we go. Yeah, once it's on the internet, it's on the internet. And I only say that because I know sometimes I have to do a lot of backsplaining, and I also sometimes am a little clunky with the way I word things, knowing that it's going to be taken out of context if anybody's going to come at me. So, yeah. But it was funny because in the chat, yes, LV, you definitely deserve bronze tier. Congratulations. I'm so glad. You did really well in rewards last season. I hope you do well again. And that reminds me, I need to tell people about it because not everybody knows what a wonderful deal that is. You're going to get coupons in the crown underneath, in the crown above my head. And you can apply those to any purchase you want. Sylvia, welcome in. So yeah, Mojo's wife Joni definitely put me on a winning streak this morning, and that actually was nice because let's do another giveaway here. Okay, cool. I like to shop and I like to sell on Whatnot. I really do. So okay, let me put these away. And another thing I want to mention is on your rewards coupons, I don't think you'll find any restrictions on how you can use them. I don't think there's any minimum purchases required, but if there is and you run into it, let me know. I believe that I've always set it up without that. I think they're all without restrictions. So if you run into a problem, just let me know. So this is for 2 of these really cute unicorn foil table covers. I asked if people use holiday wrap out of season. This is something you could actually use as gift wrap because it's gorgeous. Oh my gosh. Who wouldn't love that? But you could definitely use it as a tablecloth. You could use it for a lot of things. And there's 2 of these. So for 2, let's do this. And yes, you could use a coupon with this if you wanted to. And that actually helps your bidding power. Because you can afford to bid more, but you don't necessarily have to pay that amount if you're using the coupon, depending on what percentage you get. And at Diamond, there is 155% off coupon. Yeah. So that's pretty awesome. But every level was increased by 5% with an additional 5% coupon as well. So you can start saving and keep saving all the way with your rewards. Whatnot Rewards has definitely made it a lot easier to do live shows because very limited need for coupon codes. And I will tell you, I was in a seller show the other evening, and it was a new seller. This was their second show, and people were saying they were having issues with their coupon code. Well, since I'm from the old school, when we actually used coupon codes, we didn't do rewards. I just started rattling off all of my. Oh, these are really cute. If anybody loves fall leaves, you're really gonna love these. This is a matching set, and these are gel clayings, and we're gonna do both, 2 for 1. So I just started rattling off, okay, you need to check this setting and that setting and whatever. And it turns out I was wrong. Does anybody want to know how wrong I was? Because I don't have to tell the world if you don't want to know. But I was wrong. I'm not seeing anything. This is one of those where no answer is a good answer, but if you want me to tell you what the situation was, I will. It wouldn't apply to anybody in this room, basically. Or at least I cannot imagine anybody getting into the same confusion. And this is running for about a minute. So these are your fall leaves, 2, 4, 6, 7, so 14 total. And they've got all different types. And this is the maple leaf. I really love the maple leaf. The naked maple popped in earlier. She is quite the actress. She is featured in one of my Whatnot videos, and it is getting a lot of good views. So she's wonderful. She went to the post office and did research on how much people are overpaying for their shipping. And it's a lot. It's not a little, it's a lot. Okay, so these are birthday decoration kits. Twinsies. Hashtag HBD, happy birthday, or as I would say, how about that? How about that? So we're going to do those, and you're also going to get all of the accessories shown here. You're going to get these honeycomb balls, and you're also going to get these balloons, and that is just the best. Okay, we're going to do this, and there we go, 2 for 2. We'll start that one out. So yes, I was completely making some assumptions about that coupon code that were inaccurate. But you can still use coupon codes with Whatnot Reward. You don't have to. You just click the button and it'll put it in your wallet. And then as soon as you do a purchase that it would apply to, it'll discount that amount. I will tell you, the first season, I wanted to use all the rewards because I thought, well, if I earned it, I want to use it. So I went on a shopping spree. And any seller that had given me a reward, I tried to buy something that would qualify. That's when I started noticing that there were some that had minimum purchase requirements and things like that. And I was like, huh. So I've always set mine up not to have any additional restrictions, but I was noticing that. And I'm like, okay, all right. And Sylvia, keep your eye out for a small envelope, and that will have your giveaway inside. Congratulations. Let's see what else we can do. Oh, by the way, I have these really cute shoes that are under £1. Actually, let me double check. I'm going to jump on the scale here, because I have a scale. Look, I have a scale. Some people might not believe that I ever use a scale, but I do. I don't often have to. Okay, so there. So I just have to let it go. They're definitely less than £1. Yeah. These are like £1/4 according to the scale. We always have fun on these shows. And if I'm not on, you'll find it on YouTube, which is even more fun. Because, Whatnot is really hard for me to explain to anybody. It's just a totally different shopping experience. And you have to be able to see the chat. You have to be able to keep up with that. This is a size 8, and this is a Leah. And I won these on Whatnot. If I win something that I cannot myself use, I am glad to pass it on to a good home, or even use it in a future giveaway. But you really have to be the right size. So size 8. These are cute. And they did come new in plastic. I took it off to show it. Now, for those of you who like to bedazzle, you can contact Jessica CJ. She has done kits where people can cover with like bedazzled jewels, and the ones that she does are like stunning. So yeah, this would be something that if you love Aaliyah, maybe you want to put some jewels down the side. How terrific would that look? You've been buying, okay, so exactly. If you buy a little late in the show, you don't really get to use your shipping discount because craft supplies typically are lightweight. They're generally small, lightweight items, and you can go all the way up to £5 and get priority mail for $9.21 total. I'm sure you've been seeing that. And the other thing that will purchase is one flat rate mail piece. And so inside of a flat rate box, I've been told by a buyer, they were able to get 20 pounds of magazines. So yeah, if you do paper crafting, yeah, it's definitely the way to go. So either or, if you can fit it in and it's lightweight, you can save money. If it will fit in that the large flat rate, and that's the other way. But yeah, if you come in late, the shipping resets each show. So it's just. And I'll give you a bonus. Well, actually, I will give you a bonus. I'm going to pull out this. This is some Olay Regenerist Vitamin C Peptide 24. Never used, never opened. Brand new, store shelf quality. I don't buy any salvage, and I don't sell any returned cosmetics or health and beauty. So we will start the auction, though. We'll take it down. So the other thing I was going to say, though, is a lot of people tell me that they would rather not have like each auction charged separately, that they would rather just have it total up at the end or something. I don't know how Whatnot does things technically, because they have everything synchronized to the nanosecond around the world with the auction clocks. And I think the reality is, though, when somebody wins an auction, they have to collect the payment in order for it to be a sold piece. And I think that's why they can't, batch charges. But you were in a show where you saw this shipping set to reset after every 5 purchases, and you stopped buying. What were you purchasing out of curiosity? I'm just being nosy. You don't have to tell me who it was, because I get that. I get questions exactly like that. I really do, from sellers. And here's another rare find. This is waterproof Maybelline Expert Eyes Moisturizing Eye Makeup Remover. One reason that I love selling on Whatnot is because I can sell small, lightweight items, and it works out as a good deal for the customer, and the shipping makes sense as long as it's priced low. And on other platforms, there's just no way to get these shipping prices as low as we do. So I love Whatnot for doing that for us. But that's to say that I would normally sell this as a pair, and I just have one lonely one because it would not make sense otherwise to ship just one. It would only make sense to ship 2 as a pair. And it was pallet pools, and some were tiny and some were large. Right, exactly. Yep. I know exactly what that means, or exactly why they have a limit, because they've probably been burned. With pallet pools, you don't know how many people are going to buy and when they're going to stop, or when, how much they're going to buy. They've probably gotten burned, so they're going off a very low number there, 5, assuming that people are going to be buying more heavy items instead of small lightweights. But it just depends. It depends on who's in the show that day, who the audience is. Now, I will tell you, if you like pallet pools, I've shopped with Sold by Sam in the past, and he's really good. He somehow has this this way to do these mental math calculations on the fly that I can't even pull off myself, because I've asked him, how do you estimate your shipping? So, and also, how do you manage your pricing? And he's got this like brainiac. This is really cool, though. This is about as light as they come. This is a cute little cowboy pink boot. But yeah, pallet pools can be a little difficult. I would normally suggest, but see, I'm not going to tell anybody how to run their business. I would normally think about doing separate categories together. Now, you don't always have to do a separate show, but, run your heavy stuff first or run your light stuff first and then kind of like progress it that way. But, they run how they run. And I've seen all different styles. I've bought from Southern Savings, and I've gotten some really good deals. But the host actually went around the warehouse and was pulling out of different boxes, so it was kind of like unpredictable. But yeah, it's just one of those things where they're trying to clear through their hauls, but the shipping can get a little bit out of hand. Yeah. And there is no rule that says you cannot overpay at the post office. The U.S. Postal Service will always let you overpay. That is how it's set up. That's what I can tell you. I have these pumpkin glass jars. They do have lids. I was going to show you the sample though. If you guys want me to, I have a clear, I have an orange, and I have this green. If you want me to pull them, I can run them. If you don't want me to pull them, we don't have to run them. But it's got like a little pumpkin top. And so I just thought I would show you that one. The other thing I can show you is I have these Mizzou garden flags. And there's actually 3 here. So why don't we run these as a lightweight? So we'll do 3 for 2 to start. And if anybody's got any Mizzou fans or just wants to use it for crafting, go ahead. These are 11 3/4 by 19 inches, and it has a rod pocket on the top, and it is double-sided. So this is just like an older style, but they have the same logo. So they update them every few seasons, but not that frequently. Thank you for saying that, Bag Lady. I hope you do catch me again. And if you ever can't or don't, just go to YouTube. You can put the Whatnot playlist on, and it will be just like I'm there. But yeah, the Whatnot playlist has been getting some views. I love that. And again, I think it's probably because people who haven't shopped Whatnot are just trying to figure out, like, what is this? Like, you've got a guy talking to himself, holding up things. You watched what I posted? It was Jessica. She was so good. Oh my gosh, she covered up for all my mistakes. She's a pro. I love Jessica. Yeah, any chance I can do a show with Jessica, I will. But she's really good. I love Jessica. And, she's been on a little bit longer than I have, I think. Pretty sure. Okay, what else were we doing? These are... What is in here? Oh, this is just kind of a fun party pack. It's got some balloons, a tablecloth, and then these are kind of like paper cutouts, different numbers. But the balloons are helium quality. Thanks. Yes, until next time. Exactly. So this is your tablecloth. This is going to fit your 54 by 84 standard banquet. It's going to have your pattern around the side, around the edge. And then these are 3 helium quality 18-inch balloons. And then again, these are just random paper cutouts. So, you get a little bit of variety with this, but definitely lightweight. And we're going to take this down to 30 seconds. Okay, so now's a good moment to grab your Fiesta pack. Okay, what else are we talking about in the world? I noticed that Dollar Tree sold off Family Dollar. They used to own the Family Dollar brand of stores, and they're not going to any longer. And they themselves are going up in price. So Whatnot might be a good party supply source. As well as your other basic essentials. Oh my gosh. It's getting a little bit out of hand. So you never know. You never know what's going on behind the scenes. Okay, let's keep it moving. So you guys always buy me out a little bit early, and that is very true now because I've already started pulling some fall items. So this is a cute little garden gnome, and just a little tabletop decor. It's still got the tag and everything, but just a cute one. It almost looks like it's handmade, but it's not. This is like something I would include in a gift basket and let the person assume that I made it. So we're gonna do this as a special deal today. Okay. But here you've got, and it's like a little beanie bag. So super cute and lots of fun. So I've been jumping around from one to the next category, and I'm telling you, there are some really good shows out there. I'm just trying to think. Like, art is getting some new sellers. Tristina, who is again, she's leading the way as far as expanding the art category. She's still doing her weekend art shows and tutorials. Here I actually have a couple of mugs that both say, "Meet me at the pumpkin patch." Now these are going to have the safe sip lip here, so you don't burn your lip. They are 18, let me double check, 18 ounces each, and you can use them year round, but they're a matching set, so I thought that's so cute. And we will do that one. We'll do it. Yeah, keep the price. Sure. So yes, there's a lot of fun stuff on Whatnot. Oh, and I should have also said, Whatnot is now selling pallets of stuff. They have a new category of pallets. I think it requires a special authorization for sellers. I believe that is one of the gated categories, but you don't even have to leave your house and you can order a pallet. So if I'm not able to do it fast enough, just get a pallet of something. And Whatnot is a very gift-friendly platform, so I wonder if you can gift a pallet. Would that not be the funniest thing? Oh, I'm definitely seeing some of the giveaways get really extravagant. Cars are starting to be included. There was a car this morning, and that was just, I think it was, what was it? Oh, this has a little bit of a mar there, but not anything that bad. You can write on these with a dry erase marker, or you can decorate them however you choose, but they're paddles. And all together, I think there are still 10. Is that right? 2, 4, 6, 8, 10. The first time I saw a car being done as a giveaway, I could not believe it. And now I'm thinking, yeah, I guess they can. But somebody was really smart and asked, do you have to pay taxes? And they said, yeah. So they had an alternate prize if the person didn't want to pay the tax on a car. I don't do cars. You can tell this is a smaller scale setup here. But oh, cars are getting expensive. Anything I think about, I'm gonna just end up saying it's more expensive or it's the price has gone up because it's like everything. Wonder why. No, I don't. I don't bother to think about these things. I just kind of let the world go around me. And so these are for your paddles. Okay, cool. The other thing that I have for you guys is we've got else. I can do these pillow shams. These are actually Pottery Barn Teen pillow shams. And there's two of them. They match. They're 16 by 16 inches, and they unzip. So you just put your pillow inside. They're really cute. So there's two of these. I'll just run them separate. Okay, there you go. So this is going to be for one, and then we can run the other one if we have a winner. If we don't have a winner, it's okay. We don't have to keep running things you guys don't want to see. And I always keep my eye open for requests. So make sure you put those in the chat if there's something you're looking for on Whatnot. Because I do, earlier I asked, has anybody done the marketplace purchase? In other words, buying stuff outside of a show. And I didn't get a yes. Um, I know it's happened. I know it can happen, but I also know that it's not built, like the platform isn't really built for search purchases. It's more built for the live auctions. So I think that that's a reason we've got to kind of stay attentive to the chat. And I'm just going to hold this. Actually, I wonder if I did 2 for 2, if that would make any difference. We can let that be an open question. We don't have to answer that right now. The other thing I was going to show you guys is I do have some artwork. And this is from a guy in North Carolina, Roy Sumner. These are all, I believe, all from 2022. So I've had them for a little while. And some I've chosen to keep. And then some I'm happy to sell. So if you guys would like me to auction a Roy Sumner piece, I could certainly do that. And I've got the other one here. And, oh, by the way, this is named Little Red Riding Hood. This one here is named Little Red Riding Hood. This is named Cosmic Comfort. And the other one that I have that just is so funny. I found it very comical, which is the only reason I bought it. But I bought a lot of his work, actually. Because I needed it to host an art party where I was going to be showing all of my new artwork. But, you know, it was more for the dramatic effect than it was the actual art itself. The Happy Fall, Y'all. How cute is that? And I think that's a magnolia. I believe that is a magnolia. But you guys can always correct me. This is his 56th painting. And so he started by doing, let me look at the other ones, see if they're numbered. These are not numbered. These are not numbered. This is numbered. So he started doing this type of work, which are paint drips. And then he transitioned over into kind of like a folk art aesthetic, which is really interesting. And he just does it because he loves to do it. He enjoys making art. So if you guys want me to run one, we can certainly include that. But we don't have to. We don't have to force that. Oh, meanwhile, I am going to suggest this piece of decor, which obviously is not fine art, but it is decorative art, and it will sit flat on a table or a bookshelf. So we're going to do that one. And we will start our auction here. There we go. And these are pumpkins. I'm not sure if it's picking that up on the screen, but these are 2 pumpkins. Really kind of cool. And I see Ladybug. And so this is what's running right now. We've got the 2 pumpkins. This is a panel. It's kind of an abstract. Very nice. If you wanted to make this into a project and paint it, you obviously can do what you choose. This is textured, or excuse me, this is, well, textured and raised. So very interesting piece. And then we've also got, oh, you know, I can actually just pull books as a lightweight if you guys like to do paper crafts or books, or both. If you like to do paper crafts with books while you're reading, that would be fantastic. Let's keep it moving, though. I think what we're going to do is we're going to say to YouTube, we're good for now. And I will stop the live. Hold on one second, because I don't think we're going to need anything else. Oops. There we go. Yeah.